one upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you and fuck you. Fuck your grandmother too.
Yo,
Looking sharp, Mr.
Your hair
Biggz.
looks great. Your hair looks great today.
Yo,
Wayne.
SWAT freeze that mother sucker, big man.
God
SWAT
damn.
freeze.
Did he age that fast in jail? My God.
Good evening, Mr.
He's
Biggz.
been in there for 7 years.
Oh, boss, you just wait till the jungle comes with a fucking grapeseed.
All right, there you go, Wayne. You're cuffed to the table.
Break bail on his own accord.
Okay, now that the defendant is in, does defense, do you have everything you need to make your case before the courts today?
Yes, I do, but it would be remiss of me, my duty to my client, if I did not renew my motions, which were answered by a judge who didn't actually take this case. So I renew my motion to dismiss on the grounds of massive procedural errors, Your Honor.
I was gonna ask for some pretrial motions, but I guess I'll handle this one right now. We're gonna dismiss that motion to dismiss. We're gonna go ahead with this trial. But you are free to, appeal this verdict at a later date for those procedural errors if you so choose, Mr. Braun.
And we will.
I totally anticipate.
I mean, if we don't win, I mean, my client is innocent.
Either way. Prosecution, I was going to give you the opportunity to see if you have everything to make your case as well. Are all your witnesses here? Evidence has been entered?
Yes, Your Honor. One of our witnesses is going to be a little late, but
I told Anto to come down here and make some noise and get everybody down here.
Okay, bless.
Who is that witness that's going to be late?
So hopefully.
Mr. Grimmer, I believe.
Okay, he had some, I believe when I was scheduling the case, it was a little bit not perfect for him. Is it a scheduling issue? Is that why he's not available?
No, it's not. It's nothing like that. He wasn't feeling too well, so he had to go take a nap, and he's going to try to make his way back here shortly.
All right. Well, just let him know that if he doesn't, the court may find him with a failure to appear. This is a very serious case, and I'm not. I don't want to see witnesses not appearing and not giving notice on the docket if they're not going to be available.
No, big man, the witness.
It's nothing like that, Your Honor. I mean, he was here and he had to leave. He's going to come back. So.
Okay. That being said, do you have any pretrial motions before we kick this off?
I do not, Your Honor. Okay.
Then once again, before I do this, I am going to take a couple moments just to address everyone here in the room. Can I please push to you guys the importance of this situation today? There is a man being charged with one of the largest drug trafficking charges and fines in the state at this time. Also, his business is excuse me, sir.
Sorry, brother, I tripped. Free the Biggz one.
Yo, free up the man, free up the fucking man, the big man. Free up the man,
Ain't going back, man. He did not have sexual relations with that lady.
I'm doing the urban.
So as I was about to say, please have respect for the situation that Mr. Biggz finds himself in.
Suck your grandmother, big man. Nice up.
Fuck the
Nice,
government.
big.
Control your courtroom, Tidus, will you?
All right. So once again, please have respect for the courts. I'm going to start contempt of court.
I feel better.
100 months and $10,000.
Is that it?
And this is your first and only warning. All right. Anything further with any jumps from the ceiling? I see there's some twerking going on back there. Do you want me just to go ahead and start off already there, sir, in the bandana?
Fuck you, start it.
All right. Whoever wants
Suck your mother, big man. Suck your mother and suck your grandmother.
Already one first contempt of court.
All right.
The bandana there.
Wait, what?
It's a free word. He can twerk. What are you talking about, bro?
Yes.
Twerking. Contempt for twerking, Bass.
I'm getting $100,000 fine.
Big man,
I just told this man to suck his mother.
Bro, he's
Logical,
twerking,
very
Bass.
logical, very logical
All right.
here.
You're gonna be able to contain yourself.
You can give him the time after the case. All right. He can stick around for the case.
Yeah. Nice one.
And I will let you know that any further contempt, I'm not adding on and multiplying by 3. All right. So your next instance is 300 months and $30,000. All right.
Who's doing that?
Oh shit. Oh, sorry. Got
That's
a bit
my
of
gal,
gas.
Shana.
Trapped gas.
She's in the gallery in the back. That's my gal. See? She a big rumper. She can't wait for me to get out and slide it back inside the DM thing. You see me, Mr. Bass?
All right. So once again, we're about to start here. Please have proper respect for the situation that Mr. Biggz finds himself in. Also, anyone, officers, lawyers who may have gotten in here with your cell phones, please a reminder just to put those to silent for the time being, all right? All right, that being said, that's all my preamble. We're going to bring this court into session at this time. And first, we're going to go
this is
through
gonna be
the
good.
statement of claim here. Mr. Thoreau, can you please present your statement of claim for the courts today?
You got this, Silas.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The statement of claim or my opening?
Your statement of claim, Mr. Thoreau.
On September 13th, the police were in the area of a suspicious activity dispatch call when a van was seen exiting the area at a quick pace and running a red light. When officers attempted to conduct a traffic stop on that van, it fled. The pursuit turned into a shootout when defendant Wayne Biggz ambushed police using a Class 2 weapon and his Sand King. And the driver of the van, Anthony Murphy, got out of the vehicle and fired a Class 2 at police. Police were able to subdue and apprehend both individuals and discovered over 800 grams of narcotics in the van.
Yeah.
Raids were conducted on properties belonging to defendant Biggz, which yielded over 21,000 grams of narcotics. Based on police evidence and observations, as well as the overwhelming amount of physical evidence gathered, the prosecution accuses the defendants of the following charges.
Are you going to go through those charges for the courts, Mr. Thoreau?
Sure thing. Defendant Biggz is accused of attempted murder of a government employee ×2, criminal possession of a firearm Class 2, misdemeanor possession of controlled dangerous substance oxymeth ×2, and possession of a stolen property in the 3rd degree ×1, and 1 count of drug trafficking.
All right. And what sort of sentencing are the people looking for in this case today?
Your Honor, the prosecution is recommending a sentence of 8 years of prison, 8 years of parole, $400,000 fine, seizure of the Green Beans property, and forfeiture of its business license.
Okay.
The docket only says 200K now.
Over to you, Counselor Braun. He has listed the
Really?
charges.
That
Do I
says
need to go
200
through
and
those one
something.
by one, or are
Okay,
you
hold
going
on, I
to
get the
be
exact number.
giving your the plea to all of them at one time?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, my client needed to bring something to my attention, so I didn't quite catch all of that.
Going through the charges, do I need to go through them one by one to get your client's plea, or is he going to enter a plea for all of them at one time?
I will allow him to enter a plea individually for each charge, as some of them he might be willing to plead guilty to.
All right, Mr. Biggz, I'm going to go through each charge one by one. You're going to tell me if you're going to plead guilty or not guilty to them, all right, sir?
215,000. Okay.
What was it originally?
400,000, then it went down. Now it says 215,000 on the docket right now.
Are you sure? I never saw 400.
100%. It did say 400. Now it's 215.
All right. I mean, if you want to plead guilty to, like, you know, the basic shit and
Mr.
just
Biggz,
plead
you ready?
not guilty to the drug trafficking, I mean, it's really up to you. If you want to just say fuck you to all the charges,
I'm talking
that's
with
fine.
my counsel, senior. I'm not guilty to every blood clot charge. See, I'm not guilty.
All right, so not guilty pleas have been recorded by the
You wanna
courts
ask
for
me
all
about that?
charges brought today.
On the balcony, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, with that being said, we're going to move into opening statements at this time. Mr. Thoreau, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor and people of the court, what we have here today is a textbook drug trafficking case. Paying for the traffic stop to the flight of the original co-defendant, Mr. Anthony Murphy, to the ambush by defendant Biggz, to the raids that were conducted on his properties and the narcotics that were found in their possession. The evidence speaks for itself, Your Honor. The People's B specifically perfectly elucidates to a T every step of this arrest. And with the officer testimony that we're going to have.
What the fuck? What is going
Fucking
on?
bomb! It's a bomb!
Peanuts.
Get the fuck out
Oh,
of here!
shit.
It's a bomb!
Peanuts in this mother sucker.
Oh. It was false alarm. False alarm.
False alarm.
False alarm. Okay.
Everything blessed.
What the fuck was that?
Jesus.
What kind of security do we got in here?
Okay.
All right, so once again,
Thank God
guys,
the PD was here and ran away as soon as the bomb started ticking.
Holy fuck.
I'm not dying for that shit.
Bass, you
real
want to
quick.
keep an eye out
Search
in
the
the
police right there,
gallery
boys.
there?
Can
for
I
any
can I
further
just search
distractions?
everybody that comes in here, Your Honor? Can I just do that?
Not without any a reasonable.
The fuck,
you
man?
know,
You want to violate the constitutional
think
rights,
this is,
big
boss?
man?
No, I
The
mean,
fuck think
sorry.
this is Nazi Germany?
You're shit to the streets,
This is
Basley.
for officer safety and everybody safety over here.
Officer,
Your Honor, I
this
feel
man
very
thinks it's Nazi
uncomfortable with
Germany.
this armed police.
Yes, me
Yeah,
as well.
Okay, so
This is for my safety and your
look,
safety.
you
don't worry.
guys, we're. I'm gonna ask for some respect for the situation we find ourselves in here. Okay, Mr. Biggs' business is under threat here. Okay, let's not drown ourselves in silly drama here. Okay, I'm sick of it, and I don't want any of it. All right, I'm here to see a real
Fucking
court case
sick.
for real people here. Okay, now that being said, officers, you're not just going to willy-nilly search anyone because you feel threatened. However, you're going to stick around the gallery. You're going to listen to people. I'm giving you authority here to, take people out as you see fit in terms of removing them from the
Yo, thanks,
courtroom,
Bimby. Appreciate that.
if necessary. And let me know if there's any people that deserve any additional charges for contempt of court. Once again,
This is gonna be
100 months,
kangaroo court, though.
$10,000 is where we're starting, and I'm only multiplying it by 3 for every repeated offense. Okay, guys, I do not want to stand for any of this. This is a courtroom, not a freaking comic show. Okay,
Yeah, you tell him, Tidus. Good man.
Mr. Murphy,
Why not?
Tidus.
do you want contempt as well?
I'm agreeing with you, bro.
What the fuck is that shit?
Yo, Bimby,
All right,
coming in with the
wherever
5
that's
gifted.
coming
Thank
from,
you,
deal with it
dude.
now.
Show some
Roy
love in
and
chat,
Darren,
guys.
come from the top.
dealing
From the
with
top.
Shit.
What are you, fucking nuts?
All right, let's go. Let's bounce.
All right. Your Honor, I believe they ran out of the courthouse.
All right. If it becomes necessary, we'll have an officer stationed at both doors, I guess. Like I said, I don't want this to become a gong show, guys. It's a very important case here, okay? Now, are we certain that that's under control? Can I let Special Prosecutor Thoreau continue? What's our status there, Bass? How are you looking?
I think people are using their phone to do some sound effects, to do some dumb bullshit, Your Honor. So I think we should take everybody's phones.
Can't they not?
How
doesn't
are they
the metal
bringing their
detector-
phone?
I don't know how they're bringing their phones in here, Your Honor. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I think everyone needs a reminder that the metal detectors are probably, that the gentlemen working there are probably taking your phones. So there shouldn't be any phone noises going on here, all right?
Of course.
So, Bass, I'm going to want you to make sure either yourself or one of your other officers is around the gallery here and bring any of these.
I am too smart.
The fuck? Yeah, I got Rainy Bullet taken off right now. He's doing some bullshit. Let's go.
That's my fucking voice, Murphy.
This is going well.
Voice, right?
All right,
This is
whoever
going
that
fuck.
was, if you guys get
This is
positive
going.
ideas,
Just
that's
exactly
another
how I
100 months
fucking
and
wanted
10
it
grand,
to,
all
Murphy. Make a mockery of this mother sucker. Fuck the judge. Fuck the justice system. Fuck this whole fucking place. I'm selling everybody as soon as me touch the road, Murphy.
Okay. Thoreau,
Yep.
please continue. Or start again if you so choose.
I'll just finish it up. Prosecution will, through officer testimony and examining the evidence presented, will show that beyond
I
a
prefer
reasonable
money.
doubt that the defendant Biggz is guilty of the charges alleged against him. Thank you.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, my client, Mr. Biggz, is a legitimate businessman in the business of cannabis seeds. There is barely any evidence whatsoever of any sort of unlawful or improper drug trafficking in this case. in order for someone in the business of cannabis seeds to generate new strains, a byproduct of marijuana, is necessary. You have to grow and crossbreed strains in order to develop new seeds. And that is all that has happened here. And frankly, the dodgy cannabis legislation in this city is laughable. My client, Mr. Biggz, for being caught with some marijuana that I could buy legally down the pier, is being treated worse than a serial killer in this city. My client has done nothing wrong in growing a little dope and will be found innocent or exonerated on appeal. Take your best shot, prosecution.
Fucking shot, pussy.
All right, thank you, Counselor Braun, for that opening. We're gonna move into the prosecution's director.
Short and sweet.
Mr. Thoreau, please call your first.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, the prosecution calls Officer Kaminsky to the stand.
Where do I sit? This side or the other side?
The other side, sir.
All right.
So do I. I didn't know this thing was a thing 2 hours ago.
All right, Officer Kaminsky, can I get you to raise your right arm while I swear you in here? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Why Kaminsky
so help you
first?
Coyle.
I do.
All right, Mr. Thoreau, you can begin asking questions to this witness.
Officer Kaminsky, were you on duty on the evening of September 13th, 2021?
Yes.
And did you respond to calls of a vehicle pursuit involving a gray van?
Yes, I did.
Oh, do you want to testify?
Oh, you better fucking believe I want to go up there, Murphy.
So,
right.
tell me exactly at what point did the vehicle pursuit turn into
Slaying, you know,
a
I'm gonna
gunfight?
fuck myself over, but I'm definitely going up there, Murphy. See, I don't give a fuck.
It's fine. We're going to lose. We're going to appeal this and win, but we're going to lose today for sure. So do what you want to do, man.
Gunfire breaking out
yeah.
in front of me.
Okay. And were officers injured in this gunfight?
Yes. When I exited my vehicle, I could see Officer Willie Glory on the ground with gunshot wounds.
Okay. Now, were you able to subdue the suspects who were firing on police and detain them?
Yes, I was. I shot Anthony Murphy, who was relentlessly firing at Officer Silas Griffin.
Guy.
Ran me over, Murphy, in cold blood.
What kind of weapons were these
That's
two
fucked up.
suspects utilizing?
Can't remember the exact model from my my memory, but I believe it was automatic fire.
That would be an AK-47 extended clip, pussy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you, Officer Kaminsky.
No problem.
Now, once the criminals were detained,
Yeah, Wayne
the
doesn't give
suspects
a
were
fuck.
detained, did officers on the scene perform searches of their persons and the gray van from the pursuit?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of evidence did you guys recover from that van?
I believe in the van there was multiple boxes of marijuana.
Okay. And the suspects, what kind of material evidence did you guys recover off of them?
He's going to get his money back when we appeal it
Well, I
anyway.
searched Anthony Murphy.
When it's 400 or
I believe I
200.
retrieved an automatic weapon,
So it's
as
all
well
good.
as a very large bag.
He's going to get his bail money back too.
Understood. In Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to point out in the People's B, that's going to be specifically what he's references at the top under Anto Murphy possessions. And regarding the van, it's going to be packages found in trunk of van.
All right, that is noted.
Your Honor, I would like to motion to strike Anto Murphy's possessions
Speak up,
from
please,
these proceedings.
Murphy, I can barely hear you.
I'd like to motion to strike Anto Murphy's possessions from the record in this case today, as he's already pled guilty to his charges and is not necessarily joined at the hip here.
I'm going to rule in favor of that. We don't need to hear anything about Mr. Murphy. Let's keep it just to Mr. Biggz, all right?
Understood.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
All right, score one for me.
Officer Kaminsky, now were drugs or weapons found on Mr. Biggz when he was searched?
I did not search him, but I believe that there were, yes.
Okay.
Objection, speculation.
This question was speculative, but he Kaminsky, when there's I guess for all witnesses, if there's an objection on the table, please remain quiet until that is resolved. It was a speculative question, however, the witness did answer it, so I'm gonna let that stand. But again, thorough, keep it out of speculation. All right.
I hate when I have to
Your
like
Honor.
object.
Wait, so he's gonna allow
Your
speculation
Honor,
this time, but not in the future?
Your Honor, with all due respect, the answer is what prompted the objection, not the question.
This motherfucking
I'm just
judge
gonna go
only
through my
allowed.
notes here. Okay. So the question that in my notes here, I have the question asked was, were the drugs or weapons found on Biggz when searched? The answer is that I did not search him, but I believe so.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, I'll agree with you there. That is a bit of a speculative answer. Give me a firm answer either way, Kaminsky.
Yes, those were found on Mr. Biggz.
Those.
All right, continue, Thorough.
Thank you. Officer
Chances of
Kaminsky,
victory is now 0.06%.
after their
It's
detainment, did
about right.
the Unified Police Department conduct raids on Mr. Biggs' property?
Yes.
Understood. And in the arrest report for Mr. Biggs, is the evidence that was recovered from those raids listed in the report of the People's B, Mr. Biggs' arrest report?
Yes.
Thank you. And Your Honor, the prosecution would like to note that is going to be the contents listed under warehouse raid contents, Wayne's apartment, and in the evidence at the very bottom, that is the evidence lockers.
The first one you mentioned, the raid contents, is that in this one as well, or was that in
Yes.
the other? Okay,
This is it's in the
where
People's B.
is it?
Yep, it's going to be a bolded right after the narrative. There's going to be two bolded lines, one for
Okay,
warehouse
sorry, I
raid.
see. It's the contents listed and not I thought it was
Yep.
going to be a photographic evidence. Okay, I see,
There,
I see
yeah,
that.
there's
Okay.
both. Yeah, there's both. We have it listed out there, and then in the evidence, there's photographs of the evidence lockers of the materials.
All right,
that they recovered.
I see where this is in the evidence. Thorough. Please continue.
Thank you. All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
All right then, you can step down. Mr. Braun, do you have any questions for Cross on this witness?
Nothing, but I would like to mark him for recall.
All right.
Your Honor, I'd like to object to that. The defense counsel had plenty of time to list witnesses for direct, and they did not list any.
Do I get a rebuttal here?
I guess sure. Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't aware that I was not allowed to mark witnesses for recall. usually you're allowed to. So I don't know what the prosecutor's talking about.
Yeah, so I'm not going to find an issue with him marking him for recall. Though I will ask, how is the city doing? Do they need police resources out there, or is it okay at the moment?
Your Honor, that has nothing to do with the justice being sought by my client here today. I resent that implication.
I can answer that, Your Honor.
Okay, 1 second. Counselor Braun, I'm just trying to assess if it's in the city's best safety issue that Comiskey be given your redirect at this time instead of waiting until a future moment, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. Glory, you said you could answer the question.
Yeah, apparently there's a emergency backup request because there are shots fired with a certain gang on a construction site.
Oh no, big man, fuck.
Okay. I will say that I do not feel that probably Mr.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm not really certain that Mr. Biggz is one person to make the most difference there. I do see some other, I don't know if these are all corrections officers, but we do have some other units here. Presumably, if emergency requests are needed, they're being followed. Mr. Kaminsky, you are to step down right now, but you have been marked for recall, so I need you to stick around the courtroom, okay?
Your Honor, I'm happy to recall this witness now. I just have a few questions that aren't related to the current line to ask him. So if doing that now is better for the court and for the, city, then I'm happy to do that.
It doesn't seem like the city needs him at this moment, so we'll stick with the normal procedure. That's what I was asking my questions for in the first place, though, Mr. Braun.
How many more officers are there?
There's just 2 more.
Sorry.
All right, I won't recall him. I'll recall one of the other 2. It's fine.
Okay,
just let him go.
Brief recess while I chat with Officer Hall here. Please stick around.
Murphy, you a fucking gangster, big man.
Hey, Murphy, Wayne, either of you need any food and water?
Not right now, no.
You guys are good.
I'm blessed, me. When I want your fucking dirty prison food, what you gonna give me? A little peanut butter sandwich with fucking mold on it or something?
I was gonna drive to a burger shot and get you some food, but...
Oh my god, big man. Yo, I have a fucking...
You're
Back in
good.
a second.
Okay,
I'm blessed.
Apologize for that interruption.
Okay.
Have everyone come back here. All right, Thoreau. Gonna be your next witness, sir.
Sorry,
Like he's not paying attention.
Next witness,
Can you
Thoreau.
recall that motherfucker? No.
The people call
Nah,
Officer.
we'll just
Grimmer
recall
to the
somebody
stand.
else. I'm just gonna ask them about the weed laws and stuff, and
Ask
all that kind of
him
stuff.
if there's 2 legislations or 1 legislation.
Hey,
Because these
Officer Grimmer, you're
motherfuckers
up.
seem to think there's one for seeds and one for weed, but there's just one, Murphy. And I'm on that one. See? These motherfuckers, at the end of the day, have nothing
Let's go.
except for the boxes. That's all them literally have.
Pardon me.
Now, how many boxes was it? Was it 3?
That was like 6 to 8 boxes.
Now, is the 6 boxes alone enough for drug
Guys,
trafficking?
I can hear literally everything you're saying.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, well, forget you heard it then.
I'm trying. I'm just letting you know. All right.
Stop eavesdropping. We're whispering.
I'm not.
You guys know as well as
This
I do
motherfucker
that
has
sometimes
bionic hearing.
distances in the
Fuck.
courtroom can be a little short, so just kind of. Okay.
I'm trying.
All right.
Right.
Proceed with your questioning here, please, Thoreau.
Okay, Your Honor.
I would, Your Honor. But I don't think the witness has been sworn
Apologies.
in
Yeah.
yet.
Thank you for your reminder. I did forget
Oh,
that
it's
bit of
this
procedural.
motherfucker.
Grimmer, please raise your right arm. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalties of perjury? So help you, DW.
Of course I do.
All right. Thank you for the reminder, Thoreau, and please begin your questioning of this witness.
All right. Officer Grimmer, were you involved in the incident that was previously discussed in Officer Kaminsky's testimony?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And were you partnered up or on duty with any patrolling with any other officers during that?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Which officer was that?
Officer Willie Glory.
Okay. And so tell me about the start of the incident. well, what were you guys doing in that area when you first saw the gray van run the red light?
Right, okay. So me and Willie, we're operating under the BTF, the Burglary Task Force, okay? We're a new unit in the police department, but we're making waves already as we speak. All right. There is a 37 call. Oh, sorry, a suspicious activity call. You see, 37s is the 10 code for suspicious activity. So, you know, if you're not a cop, you don't know. It's suspicious activity, all right? All right, where was I? Okay, so there I was. We got a 1037, which is a suspicious activity call. It's up in Galileo Observatory, near that. Like a genius, I go, I bet they're gonna, oh! What was that?
That was some peanuts, big man. Continue. It's just peanuts. That's all. Just some, just some peanuts, big man. Just peanuts.
Continue.
Right. So,
Willie,
like
you
a
got a spider.
genius, I'm thinking we set up south of where the 37 occurred. I thought they were gonna flee southbound, and boom! Would you look at that? A gray color van going a little fast, ran a red light. Thought maybe this is our guy, so I pulled him over. He refused. We got ourselves in a car chase. What was the question again?
Well, I can ask another question to get the story going again.
Yeah.
So you after you saw this van
What the fuck?
run a red light and it failed to yield for you, and you chased it. What happened next?
We chased him.
Okay, and did the chase ever come to a stop?
Well, it was interrupted by an ambush.
An ambush. Oh.
Yeah.
Who ambushed you guys?
It was Wayne Biggz.
Okay. And how exactly did he ambush you?
We were coming up an intersection. He parked his Sand King on the section. He was next to it with a giant Class 2 weapon. Starts blasting my partner, Willie Glory. Willie, I wasn't sure he was going to make it. He went down like a sack of potatoes, okay? I don't think he even got a shot off. He just got fucked up instantly. Oh, pardon my language.
That's okay. That's okay, Officer Grimmer. And now, did you get struck by gunfire at all during that gunfight?
Yeah, I got hit in the shoulder. Nothing too severe.
Okay.
Nothing too serious.
Just understood. And after these suspects and the defendants shot down Officer Glory, were you able to subdue them?
Oh, absolutely. I got out of the car, took out my gun. At this point, I also saw Anto Murphy get out of the van. He assisted Wayne in the shootout, but they were no match for me and my ace skills. All right.
Fucking piece of shit.
Understood.
Yeah. Just, you know, I don't want to brag on the stand here, but I was immaculate.
Okay, I'll see you in the fucking streets.
My accuracy was
I'll see you in the fucking streets.
a spectacle.
I'll see you later.
Understood, Officer Grimmer. Now, when after you subdue the suspects, were you did officers detain and search them?
Yes.
Did officers discover the Class 2 firearm along with narcotics on Mr. Biggz's person?
Yo, Gooby coming in with the prime.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for the 2 months, bro.
Okay. And were you involved in the raid that the Unified Police Department conducted on Mr. Biggz's property?
I was.
Understood. Now, referencing the People's Bee, which lists out the contents of the raid of his warehouse and his apartment, as well as listing the images down in the evidence lockers, is that going to be everything? Cover everything that you guys found on those raids?
That's correct.
All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
All right.
All right. Counselor Braun, do you have any cross-examination questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a question or two.
Okay, please proceed.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Sir, are you currently intoxicated?
No.
You sure about that? Look like you're having trouble standing up.
No, I'm good. I'm solid.
Your Honor, I would like to request a breathalyzer test for this witness. His reliability would be called into question should he be testifying while inebriated.
Go for it.
Your Honor, I would object to that. This man is showing no signs of intoxication whatsoever.
He's slurring his speech. He's struggling to stand of his own power.
I always slur my words.
I was gonna. So if there's no firm evidence of any, alcoholic beverages being drinking beforehand, Mr. Braun, I'm going to allow this to continue. Grimmer here, I have seen him in court before. He does have a few quirks in his personality,
Murphy.
and I do not believe they show inebriation at this time.
Murphy, he's smoking my marijuana. He's smoking the bee jangles in the Afghani, big man. Ever since he raided me, he's addicted to marijuana.
The man is clearly drunk, but okay.
Boo!
That's not. It's called swagger. All right, it's called swagger.
Your Honor, I believe he's been smoking.
Barely
my
being
product
able to
from the
stand
raid.
is not swagger.
Your Honor,
It's the opposite of swagger.
This time he's only have the cigarette.
All right, that's good enough for me at this time. Counselor Braun, do you have any other further questions?
No, that was just the one question I had.
Okay. Are you looking to mark this witness for recall?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I bet
guess-
that cigarette's laced with weed.
Actually, Officer Thoreau, did you have any redirect based off of that cross?
No, I do not.
All right, then, Mr. Grimmer, you are free to step down, and since you are not marked for recall, you are free to go about your business or return to the patrol.
Hey, thanks, Your Honor. Do good work, everyone.
Yeah, go to work drunk.
Good.
All right, Thoreau, you're next.
Let's get the hell out of
witness,
here.
please.
Yes, Your Honor. Prosecution would like to call Officer Willie Glory to the stand.
All right, Mr. Glory, please proceed to the stand. All right, Mr. Glory, can I get you to raise your arm, please? All right, do you swear and affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? So help you wayward.
I do.
All right. Now the witness has been sworn in. You're free to proceed, Mr. Thoreau.
All right. Officer Glory, so from the previous witness's testimony, you were patrolling with Officer Grimmer, responding to a 1037. Now, did you witness the van commit the traffic violation of running?
Yes.
Okay. And did you attempt to pull over that vehicle for that traffic violation?
Yes.
Did the vehicle yield to you?
No.
And did you pursue that vehicle?
Yes.
Were you ambushed while you were pursuing this vehicle by the defendant, Mr. Biggz?
Yes.
Objection leading.
I'm going to go ahead and sustain that objection. You can re-ask that if you like.
Did the chase stop at any point?
Yes, it did.
And what happened when the chase stopped?
We were ambushed.
Okay. And who were you ambushed by?
Mr. Wayne Biggz.
Understood. And did the defendant use some kind of weapon to ambush you guys?
Yes, he used a Class 2 firearm.
Understood. And were you shot during this ambush?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And just to be clear, you got shot down by Mr. Biggz here, correct?
Yes.
Incorrect. Anto shot him down.
Okay. Understood. And so after the shooting, after the suspects were detained, obviously you were busy getting medical treatment. But afterwards, were you involved in the raiding of the warehouse and apartment belonging to Mr. Biggz?
Yes, I was involved. Yes.
Okay. And tell me, what kind of
that
evidence
clipping was brutal
were you,
on my
were you
ears,
able
dude.
to obtain from those properties?
A massive amount of marijuana. Over, I believe, 20,000 grams of it.
Okay. Were there any items used for sales or trafficking of the drugs?
Yes.
Okay. Like what?
I can't recall exactly, but it
Okay.
was all in evidence.
Understood. Give me one moment, Your Honor.
You know, I would actually say our chance of winning on the drug trafficking charge has probably gone up to about 25 to 30%, believe it or not.
All right, Your Honor. Prosecution has no further questions for this witness.
All right, Mr. Braun, would you like to cross-examine this witness?
Actually, no. I will mark this one for recall, though, if that's the last one.
I believe that is the last of the officers, correct, Mr. Thoreau?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Glory, you've been marked for recall. You can step down at this time, but you are not free to leave the courtroom until you've been recalled.
If that's the last of his witnesses, I'll just call him first so he can get out of here.
Mr. Thoreau, do you have any further witnesses after this?
No, but I do need to go over some evidence.
Okay, so
I will
Mr.
try to
Glory,
limit.
you
I will try to
stay
limit most of
there.
that to my closing, though.
Yeah, you stay there, and then Mr. Thoreau, why don't you highlight what you need in your evidence right now, and then we'll proceed to the recall, and Mr. Braun can begin.
Actually, Your Honor, I'm just gonna save it for my closing. So,
all right,
we're good.
Okay, sounds good. Braun, do you want to begin, or do we want to maybe the courts need to break for a few moments for people to, or how do you guys feel?
A 5-minute recess would be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do 5 minutes then. We will return at 4:48. Or sorry, 48 past the hour. Sorry. All right.
All right, thank you. All right, I gotta piss.
Do your thing, Murphy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
DOJ, stop. I'd like to address.
Dude, I'm still like, what the fuck about my Pokemon card? What happened to it? Did they just disappear? Did I accidentally put it in a binder I don't even have? Like, I don't even know, dude. I've been just thinking about that Pokemon card this whole trial. Alright, I'll be back in a few.
No, we'll talk after.
Where the fuck did he come from?
Fucking boy.
He was not around when I said it. All of a sudden he was here.
Wait, I got some good news.
Murphy.
At the start of this case, I put our chances of winning at about 0.06%. I think we're at about 40% right now. We might actually win.
Holy fuck, really? You think so?
You know how it be with these cops.
Murphy, you should definitely bring up in the closing argument that there's only one legislation for herb. Not
we're
gonna
gonna get into that when I question you. When I call you up there, we're gonna get into everything about your business.
Okay, proper.
But yeah, like listen,
I just suggest these judges over here and tell them Marwan for the future.
Cops and stuff.
You want to hear the best part?
You're lucky. They kick you out.
Hey, don't be so short-tempered with me, you asshole.
Yeah, you could. In court, I mean, that's not really appropriate.
Fucking heard me.
Oh. Telling you, fucking.
Hey, anyone know where Thoreau is? I want to get the spec started.
Ooh, he's late.
I'll find him.
Are we 2 minutes? Judge, with all due respect, we 2 minutes past due. I feel like this defense attorney or whatever the fuck his name is disrespecting this courtroom and these proceedings.
He doesn't care anymore.
Well, if he doesn't show up pretty quickly, Mr. Biggz, I may agree with you here.
Or he may have been kidnapped. Can you calm down for a second, Judge?
I think some contempt of court may be in order, big man.
Contempt
Was he
of court.
seriously?
Your Honor, I think he kidnapped himself to get out of this this loss here today. I'm gonna motion to dismiss.
Shut up, Braun.
Good shit, Murphy. Oh, big man.
Let's confirm if he was indeed kidnapped or not.
Oh, look, we
there
found
he is.
him.
All right.
I'm good. Sorry,
fuck.
apologies for the delay, folks.
Oh, fuck. I was really hoping he got kidnapped.
All right, we're gonna call this back into session here. All right. I believe it was we had Mr. Glory up here on the witness stand, and Mr. Braun was about to give his about to give him his direct for his defense's questioning here. So, Mr. Glory, can I have you reapproach the stand? You've already been sworn in by the courts.
Your Honor, this is a recalled witness. Just to clarify.
Yes, correct.
He's back here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry, Bass.
Pick up your phone next
All
time.
right, Braun, you can begin whenever you're ready.
Okay, I just have a couple quick questions for you. In regards to the investigation against the defendant, Mr. Biggz, was there any discussion throughout the course of the situation about the defendant's legal status as a business owner of green beans?
Can you repeat the question?
During the course of the investigation against the defendant, Mr. Biggz, was there any discussion in regards to the status of his business, green beans?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about that discussion?
No.
No. Why not?
Well, you're asking if there was discussion in between the Unified Police Department, like with everybody involved, or just me specifically?
Well, you already said yes, there was a discussion, so you're at least aware of it.
I remember it was being discussed among everyone involved. Yeah.
Were you present for this discussion?
Yeah, but I can't recall exactly what was said, and I don't want to lie on the stand. So.
How convenient. Okay, I got nothing further for this witness.
Okay, Mr. Thoreau, do you have any cross for this? Mr. Thoreau?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Glory, you can step on down. Since you've now been called on both sides, you are free to leave the courtroom if needed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll stick around.
All right. Mr. Braun, your next witness?
Your Honor, the defense wishes to call the defendant, Mr. Wayne Biggz, to the stand.
Biggz, please approach. Now, by giving your testimony, do you understand that you'll be waiving your Fifth Amendment right?
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that. I know the Constitution of America thing, and I'm read that before I come get my citizenship, big man.
All right. Can I get you to raise your arm then while I swear you in? All right. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalties of perjury? So help you airborne.
Yes, sir.
All right. Witness has been sworn in. You're free to proceed, Mr. Braun.
Mr. Biggz, are you a business owner?
Yes, sir, I am.
What is the name of your business?
Green Beans Seed Company.
Do you have a business license, or had
So
you
I
before
do.
these proceedings?
Yes, Mr. Murphy.
Who gave you that business license?
The state of Los Santos.
Was there a specific person?
I believe it was Judge. I can't remember his name. A couple of the judges, actually. Like 3 of them were conversing upon it.
Okay. And when you were given the business license for Green Beans, were any provisions or guidelines explained to you about this business?
I'm just telling me that I told him I was going to only sell seeds, which I did. Never sold any joints at any farmer's market or any Dean's World location. None of them things, but never sell no joint of marijuana, not 1 gram of marijuana. Only reason me grow marijuana is it can't find the different seeds, the different strains on seeds. So when I sell seeds to the public, we could tell them, how to do it, give them some pointers.
Okay, Mr. Biggz, that's great, but in terms of any requirements for the business, were those explained to you by these judges when you were given the business license?
Let me explain anything to me. Nah, big man, them say I get a full license for grow 30 plants on my farm. And I get a legislation for marijuana, Mr. Murphy. I was blessed, good to go.
Since you received your business license, have you been convicted of any felonies before today?
I believe so, but nothing drug related, Mr. Murphy.
At any point in time since you started your business, has your business been given any strikes?
Yes, Mr. Murphy. I believe I have 1 strike from Mr. Andrews, from one Brad Chody, who was working with my company, who allegedly got caught selling marijuana out the back of his trunk, in which terms I have fired him for 1 month, 30 days, which is on record, which is available to the public, available to the government anytime they want it. I fire him for 30 days. After that, I hire him back on board because he's really good at marijuana. I know what him do. But yes, Mr. Murphy, I have 1 strike before.
Okay. Just for the record, it requires 3 strikes for the license to be revoked under the general terms his business is to adhere to.
Objection, Your Honor.
It's a matter of public record, Your Honor.
First, I'll hear out the objection. What's your objection?
The strike system that they're talking about, I believe, applies to dispensaries. Green Beans is not a dispensary.
Your Honor, I believe the prosecutor is testifying with that statement.
Yeah, I can understand where you're attempting to go with that, Mr. Thoreau. I believe that is evidence that should be provided to the court. I am going to agree with Murphy on that one. What was the original objection? Because this came secondary here again here.
Just to that, I was just objecting about talking about the strike system because I believe that was applying to dispensaries.
Okay, so it hasn't been entered really into the evidence what the exact nature of this business is in terms of if it's a dispensary or not. However, I do believe that Mr. Braun is just going through the legislation that governs them. So I'm going to allow him to proceed, and we will see if there's any other evidence. Or sorry, we're going to allow him to proceed. Okay.
And to be clear, Your Honor, this hasn't been brought into evidence, so I'm asking my client specifically, since he is the business owner, what kind of requirements he was told to adhere to. So I'm just as curious as you are.
Absolutely.
Mr. Biggz, when you were authorized to open this business, was it ever expressed to you by the judges?
Murphy, sorry, before you continue, there was a question that we left hanging here about the 3 strikes for the license to be revoked. So I'm gonna have Wayne finish that question first before you continue.
Sure, of course.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Well, you already answered that you had 1 strike, so Your Honor, could you just look in your notes and repeat my question?
So the question Braun asked was if it requires 3 strikes for the license to be revoked.
Yes, sir. I own a seed dispensary, and after 3 strikes, Mr. Dante and Mr. Bass told me that they will shut down my business.
Mr. Biggz, did either the judges who gave you your business license, or since you mentioned them, the officers who told you about the strikes, did they ever express to you that should you be convicted of any crimes, your entire inventory would immediately become illegal?
No, sir.
So any inventory you might have under the dispensary guidelines you were given would still be considered legal. Is that your understanding, Mr. Biggz?
Correct. And in the legislation, there's no limit on how much herb you can have in your stash.
Very well. I think you've answered all my questions today, Mr. Biggz. I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. 47%.
All right, Mr. Thoreau, do you have any cross-examination questions for this witness?
Yes.
All right.
So maybe 55%. Tabasco coming in with a brand new sub. Thank you so much, dude.
Mr. Biggz.
Show some love in the chat.
Is your business a marijuana dispensary?
It's a marijuana seed dispensary, big man.
So it's not a marijuana dispensary.
It's under the same legislation as the other one. Because how many legislations are there in the city? I believe there's 1 legislation for marijuana. I may have a license for that.
So if you're under the legislation for marijuana dispensaries, then you are a marijuana dispensary. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm a seed dispensary, but we have the same license and the same rights as all the other dispensaries in the city.
Okay. And so you said in your testimony that you the marijuana that was found in your warehouse was not, there's no intention for that to be sold or distributed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, misstatement of testimony. I don't know that he said anything like that.
Let me just look at my notes here. I don't have any notes of any questions under direct here that refer to the inventory of the warehouse.
I certainly didn't ask him about his intentions, so.
Well, Your Honor, and in one of his questions responses, he mentioned that for the purposes of crossbreeding to make new strains is why he had that marijuana. And so I'm just clarifying that his intention was to not sell or distribute that bud.
Okay, so rephrase your question to reference that, because I do agree with Murphy. It was getting a little close to misstatement of the evidence then.
Okay.
65%.
So you had mentioned in your testimony that the reason for having so much marijuana is because for the purposes of breeding new strains. Is that correct?
Correct. The only reason we grow female strain is to figure out the formulas. Which type of fertilizer, which type of water, how many fertilizer. It's a very, very extremely tedious process.
I can't believe how we managed to tip the scales here.
Understand where we're coming from, Miss Sarah.
Get it, scales?
Actually owns her own
Because it's a
business
drug
as
case.
well.
That's pretty clever, right? Pretty
Marijuana business.
Okay. Give me one moment, Your Honor.
Take all the time you need. We just flipped this whole thing around. I've been saying all week we're gonna lose, and now I think we might actually win. Anto is still fucked though.
Okay, so with that in mind, did you have any intention on selling that bud?
No, sir. We smoked the marijuana.
Then tell me then, Mr. Biggz, how come there was several thousand grams of marijuana packaged in packages marked for police seizure, as well as packed buds found on that property?
Packages marked for police seizure. But now I know what you're talking about, big man.
Your Honor, I object to this line of questioning. I did not get into with the witness what was found on him on his arrest. We spoke about the business and the marijuana related to the business only.
If I may rebut, Your Honor.
Yeah, rebut.
The scope was opened on this line of questioning by the testimony of the defendant and some of my cross-examination and as well as the direct questioning. The marijuana that was at his business has been discussed in several questions and several answers. And I am trying to, I'm just trying to inquire why, if he was not intending to sell any of this marijuana, why was it packaged in large packages, suspicious packages, and why he also found there were packed buds as well found on that property if he did not intend to distribute those.
I may rebut. The prosecutor is clearly trying to extend the scope of my original line of questioning.
I am going to agree with Mr. Braun on this one, Counselor Thoreau.
67%.
There is no direct that really from Mr. Braun that really goes into this scope, and I do not believe that you have opened it appropriately enough to get there yet. So that question's stricken at this time.
Understood, Your Honor.
Oh man, he's starting to deflate a little bit. I kind of feel bad. He wasn't expecting this. For sure he was not expecting this.
I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Got a couple more.
All right, Mr. Braun, go for it.
Mr. Biggz, you were asked several times, I think, you know, if you had intended to sell any of the marijuana on your property. Now, according to the terms of your business license, if you had wanted to sell that marijuana, would you have been legally allowed to do so?
Yes, Mr. Murphy, I would have been.
No further questions, Your Honor. All right, thank you, Cassie.
Okay. With that, Mr. Biggz, you're free to step down, head back to your desk there. Do you have any further witnesses, Mr. Braun?
Thank you,
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Okay. Does either side or both sides prepared for closing, or do you need some time to prepare?
I could use some time, Your Honor.
Murphy, that was
okay.
a
I will
fucking
give
great
you
question,
5
big
minutes,
man.
but exactly
Perfect.
5 minutes through. Don't push it. To
I
10
put
minutes
us
this
at
time,
about
alright?
69% chance of winning at this point. I was not expecting this.
All right.
One more clap, Murphy. I might get my business back.
And Anto is still fucked though.
Yeah, Anto's fucked. Look, Anto.
Oh, speaking of Anto, he called me, so I'm gonna call him back. See what he wanted.
Murphy,
Hey,
what is the story?
I got a
I
recess.
can't make it down. I can't make it down, bro. We got in a bit of a situation there. The boys were getting chased. I helped out. I got in a big chase. They were shooting at me. There was a warrant, so you know I'd love to be there and make it back down, but I can't. I can't do anything.
It's fine. It's fine. I heard about the situation. But listen,
how are we looking?
This is really, really good news. We flipped the tables on him. We might win.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We got. I put us at 69% win at this point for the drug trafficking.
That is actually my. That is actually my favorite number in the whole wide world as well, Murphy.
We went from like 0.06% chance to like the prosecutor is like deflated. He's like all but given up. Because I put Wayne on the stand and he crushed it.
So how are we looking? What are you thinking is the predicted outcome here?
Well, I mean, all that weed on his property is legal according to his business license. So unless he was given 3 strikes and his business license removed, there's nothing in the even the criminal liability provisions that says his current inventory would just become illegal. And he's been convicted of multiple felonies since he got the license and was never struck. Yeah, like they never followed up on any of the dispensary guidelines.
And the similarity between the packages we were dropping off, and
I didn't ask about it, so they couldn't ask about that.
Oh fuck! Okay, my man.
So
that is fucking. So you reckon he's gonna keep the company? He's gonna walk free?
We're about to give closing statements. You're still fucked. But we can still appeal on the. We can still appeal on the procedural stuff. I mean, you already pled guilty, is what I mean. So like,
what I'm doing? I thought I don't have anything to do with anything anymore. Like, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying if you want to appeal it, and get your money back and get the charges removed, like we can win. And if Wayne's found guilty, we're gonna get that money back, the $200K or whatever, because we're gonna appeal and we're gonna win. But I think we might actually win on the drug trafficking here, not everything else, obviously.
Fuck yes. Hey, well, let me know. Tell Wayne to give me a ring when he's done. Good shit.
All right.
I wish I could be there, but you know. All right, brother. Appreciate it, Muff.
All right, appreciate the support. Anto wants you to call him when we're done here.
Okay, bless. Hey, big man, another thing. I pled not guilty to all charges, and these motherfuckers strictly focus on trafficking. They never tried to prove literally any other of my charge. You might be able to bring that up in a closing argument.
Yeah, but I mean, they did talk about the ambush and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's the trafficking that we got to worry about here.
Anyway.
And even if you get found guilty of trafficking for the packages, right? They can't, in good conscience, charge you 200 and something thousand, because that's all based on the estimated worth of the weight in your warehouse. So they're going to have to cut that fine down, time served, little bit of fuck you for the cameras, and then you're a free man, I think. But if we lose and you pay the 200K, you're going to get it right back in a week or two when we get this appeal.
I'd say fucking less. What if we lose and I start selling herb in the next week or two and I get caught? Then we fucked.
I mean, I don't know. That'll be a
Maybe
whole
I'll
new
just get
case.
someone else to sell her. Okay. All right. Bless. Say less, Murphy. Say fucking less.
This prosecutor sounds so disappointed. He did not expect this. I did not expect this. I came in here. I told you we were going to lose, and I genuinely believe that. But the thing about me, as an attorney, right? My secret weapon is when I'm in a fucking corner, right? That's when my mind works at its best. When I have no hope and when there's like no answer, that's when I come up with something somehow. And I never know when it's going to happen, but it happened in the middle of the case today, and I couldn't be happier. But I think we really just created a lot of doubt about this.
I hope so, Mr. Murphy. That's what I'm saying. Without that reasonable doubt, I'm trying to take my business speak, man. Has to be. They better fucking let me keep my business license at least.
I mean, they never took it away. All that stuff is legal. There's nothing in the criminal liability. It says that deviation from the guidelines will open you to criminal liability, but it doesn't say that your legal stock of marijuana instantly just becomes illegal, and you've only gotten one strike. They didn't properly take away the business from you. They didn't do what it says for them to do. Therefore, they can't really convict you. And I think the judge is coming around to my point of view here.
All right,
So
I'm gonna call this back into session. This case at this time.
That last question you asked,
5 minutes
close
to
this
prepare
bitch
for
out.
closing
I think we
arguments.
got this.
So we'll hear those at this time. Mr. Thoreau, you're first.
Your Honor and people of the court, as to the probable cause to detain and search the defendant, Mr. Biggz, the defendant ambushed Officers Glory and Grimmer per their testimony. The evidence in the People's B also shows the weapons that were recovered from them and the fact that he tested positive for GSR, substantiating the charges of attempted murder of a government employee ×2. Upon searching Mr. Biggz, besides the weapon, he was also found to be in possession of 2 grams of methamphetamine, 100 milligrams of oxycodone, and a phone dongle, providing sufficient evidence for the charges of criminal possession of a firearm class 2, misdemeanor possession of controlled dangerous substance oxymeth, and possession of stolen property in the 3rd degree. Now, the defense claims that green beans is subject to the same laws and legislations as marijuana dispensaries. However, the defense has submitted no evidence to substantiate that claim. Mr. Biggz, in his testimony, stated that the bud found in the warehouse was simply a byproduct of his seed production. However, in the raid of that warehouse, there was 11 200-gram packages of marijuana that were marked for police seizure, and there was grams of packed buds. Now, why would somebody who only has marijuana as a byproduct of making new strains, producing seeds, go so far as to package that marijuana for transportation? It is clear, with the evidence presented and the officer's testimony provided, that this man is guilty of drug trafficking, and we beseech that the state find him guilty of it. Thank you.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, throughout the course of these proceedings, there have been innumerable procedural errors and missteps which I will refrain from bringing into the actual matter at hand and save for any potential appeal later. But let's get into the procedural problems with this actual arrest. Mr. Biggz is a properly licensed business owner, and his business Green Beans does fall under the dispensary guidelines. There is no seed business guidelines.
Your Honor, facts not in evidence.
This is reflected by the testimony of the defendant himself, who would be in a position to know about his own business.
I'm gonna let the defense continue his close thorough. It's referenced in the evidence that's already been provided that there is a bit of uncertainty, and that the courts will consider that during deliberations. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Please continue.
So anyway, my client, Mr. Biggz, runs a business selling seeds of different cannabis strains to the different dispensaries that are also legally licensed to sell marijuana in this city. Without getting too deep into the flawed nature of cannabis legalization and legislation in this city, I will say simply that the people in this matter did not do their job diligently in regards to this matter. My client has received, according to his testimony, 1 strike against his business in the entire course of its existence, although he has, by his own admission, been convicted of other felonious acts within that time. His business was not completely taken from him. It was simply suspended pending these proceedings. And by my client's own testimony, he still has a license to operate this business. There is nothing within the guidelines set forth by our wonderful judges that suggests that his entire legal inventory would become criminal should he be convicted of any crimes. And it has not in the course of time since it's been open. Only in this case was a raid conducted on this property, and all of these legal marijuana products were seized as evidence in this proceeding. Given the murky nature of the legislation surrounding this and other cannabis businesses in this city, and the selective enforcement of the provisions my client was instructed to follow, you must acquit my client of drug trafficking, or at the very least, not charge him the fine of over $200,000 based on the contents of this warehouse. And furthermore, when my client is acquitted, he wants his weed back.
Yes, so I do.
Like a mic drop I tried to do there.
Holy fuck, Murphy, you got me
Alright, thank you
goosebumps.
for both sides for your closing arguments. At this point, I will put this court into recess while
Your
I
Honor, can I
deliberate.
motion for a quick sidebar before you head in?
Your Honor, we just concluded the proceedings.
This is
could
more
have
of a
possibly-
procedural thing. There's just a quick procedural thing. It'll be super quick.
I mean, I'll entertain it, but it better be good, thorough. Please
Yep.
approach Braun as well.
Yep. All right. It's very minor. I mean, you mentioned $200,000, but I would just like to note that there was a motion to amend the sentencing that was approved. It is.
Was accepted by previous judges.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that was noted. All right.
Completely unnecessary. All right. With that,
Yo,
being
Murphy,
That was
said,
no
I am
big thing.
putting This court into,
It was about the fine.
recess.
It was no big
Do
deal.
not
The
expect
judge
a very
wasn't having
quick
it.
Verdict. This is a very serious
Okay,
matter. I have a
bless.
lot of evidence to go through and a lot of stuff to weigh.
Sir, you can't
so
assault
please,
people in a courtroom
please
like
wait
that.
Around, but don't expect a verdict in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to take some time on this one. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take all the time you need.
In recess.
Oh, imagine if you got all that weed back.
Oh my god. I mean, all the herbs probably are dried up by now and shriveled away, but you know how much money that is for the herb? They'd have to give
I
me
know
that
that they know that.
$200,000.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay you $200,000.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. We win this case, I want my $200,000.
All right, let's not jinx it though.
$15,000.
Let's not jinx it though. Let's start feeling like we're gonna lose. You know, instead of being, acting like we won already.
Yeah, man, I'm hype right now. I need to settle down, Murphy. I need to settle down. Look, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna write down on this paper about piss. Okay, I'll be. Give me a second.
Yeah. I think we could have done better on the closing, but I didn't want to go on forever. Yeah.
Can I get a minute? Just real quick. Just real quick. Do you
I mean-
remember how much? It has nothing to do with this. Do you remember? Because I'm writing up a petition to get our pay raise. Do you remember how much we were getting paid before?
Before or before what?
Before Denzel cut our pay.
I mean, I
hour.
have no idea.
Offhand.
Look, all I know is that right after the economy crashed, we were making like bank, like way too much money. And I said,
we don't want to do
I
that,
said to the government,
but-
you know, we should probably not get paid that much. And then they cut it. I don't know what Denzel cut it from there. I wasn't around for that.
No. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you remember what we were getting. I know it's somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200 an hour.
It ain't
Before.
much, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's not fucking enough. Yeah, it's absolutely.
We should
not.
get paid
Yeah.
about double what we're getting paid right now, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well because I'm trying to I'm gonna send you something you can take a look at because I was asked.
Yeah, the
by
judges
mayor's
said that
office
we
to-
could
to-
advocate for our pay, so you know
Yeah.
nobody seemed to take notice
Yeah.
except for you apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, because most of my work is done pro bono. I got fucking bills to pay, bitch.
I get paid
Okay.
in tamales
So-
and fucking joints.
Yeah. Oh, but no, we need to find out what that is. Maybe Tidus will probably know. I'm not going to bother him right now. Yeah, sorry for calling you. Totally forgot about this case today.
It's fine.
But I'm going to send it to you, see if you like it, because we want to try to get this done because the mayor's office came at me and asked me to get this put together like today with the quickness.
Oh, tamales
so
are great.
This is like just quick and dirty.
It's just a Daredevil reference though.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
don't
Do
mind.
that.
And if you like it, just sign it because the TBD in there is going to be how much we were making before. So that's the only thing that needs to change.
I mean, I think that if we ask the right people, we should be able to get a figure on that. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding somebody that. And I know Tidus kept track of that shit. So I'll ask him as soon as we're all done here.
all right,
So,
sounds good.
Thank you, Murphy. I'll send it over to you for you to take a look at. If you have any. Why don't you do it,
Hello, Anna.
Nigel?
I know you're
Nigel.
busy, sir, but
Yeah.
do you how
Nigel's
confident
a
do you
good
feel you
one.
can win the case?
Is this for the press here?
A weasel.
All right. You can put this on the record. Walking in here today, I was not necessarily sure how this case was going to go, but through the process of the proceedings, obviously we were able to flip some things around on the prosecution. So my confidence is high that we are going to get some concession here. I'm not sure if we're going to get not guilty on all charges, but I think we're gonna get something we can consider a win here today. But if not,
So-
we're gonna peel this thing into the ground.
So you're confident that you can? I mean, your client did address all of the DOJ in the box earlier. Are you slightly frightened that he's not conflicted out most people who could act on his behalf in an appeal?
I'm not too worried about that. We can usually find somebody without any amount of bias. I don't see Judge Coyote over there, so you know maybe we'll get him on this appeal.
Fair enough. So, on the charges that are levied at the moment, you think that you can probably get your client off the 290 kilos of... Is it 290 or 210 kilos of weed?
I don't know the exact number, but you know, according to the letter of the law and the dispensary legislation, is very clear that that stored marijuana product is legal until he loses that license through the official process, the strike system, and it was noticed by me that in the criminal liability clause in the dispensary guidelines does not specify that that any legal marijuana will become illegal as a matter of course, especially not unless the dispensary license is properly removed, which it wasn't.
Gotcha.
I can't. You just put him behind my back.
You'll have to excuse me. My client is currently handcuffing somebody.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry, Murphy. Sorry.
Wait, you're cuffed to the table, damn it.
I mean, he
hold on,
walked
I'll
off with
be
his standing
bored,
back and
specify.
nobody handcuffed him again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess
Okay.
nobody really handcuffed me
So
to get to the stand, but
you're confident that you're confident you can exonerate him from most of the charges that are against him. You may not necessarily get him off everything, but you get him off the largest stuff. How do you rate the performance of the prosecutor?
My guy.
I think the prosecution
Turn
did a
around.
great job. I do believe there was a turning point during my examination of my client where the prosecution realized that it was not the slam dunk that he thought it was. So, again, I think we're going to get a favorable outcome here, which wasn't exactly what we expected going in, but we're going to be very happy with the result, I think.
where the fuck did you
Her
pull
name's
this from,
Shauna.
Wayne? Because didn't you just get out of fucking prison?
It's not the slam dunk they thought it was, is the quote I'm going to use, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Use whatever you want. Honestly, everything I said, I'm just trying to, repeat some of the things I said during the case, paraphrase them, and just give you some quotables. So, if you got any other questions.
What's your full name, sir? Because I'll stick your full name in the article as the defense attorney.
Anybody know the car house?
Murphy Danger Braun. I'm just kidding. That's not my real middle name.
Sorry, excuse me. What? Excuse me. What
Murphy,
excuse me.
was full.
Yo, what's your MySpace?
Murphy Braun. Braun.
Braun.
Correct.
69 at hotmail.com.
Okie dokie. Lovely. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Braun.
Anytime.
Yeah, if your client, I mean, your client initially gave me a statement as he was being brought down, out of the prison bus and down to the cells of fuck the police, fuck the judge, fuck you, fuck everyone. Does he want to recant that statement and give me a nicer one?
I mean, you would have to ask my client.
You can pull out a coffee.
I'm gonna see if he wants to give a statement.
Yeah.
Mr. Biggz,
wants that wing.
would you like to give a brief statement on the case to the press over here?
Of course, Mr. Murphy, yes.
Chaos, come here.
Mr.
Hello?
Wayne.
Yeah,
Hello
what's
there.
your name?
My name's Nigel. I work for Weasel News. I'm just trying to get your side of the proceedings so far. How do you think the court case has gone?
I think it's going great. Big man, I got the best law in the city. And I think we got this in the bag, big man. I mean, there's only one legislation in the city, see? There's not one for seeds and one for marijuana. There's only one. I fight for equal rights, see? Equal rights for marijuana dispensaries. My name Wayne.
Cannabis reform.
Yes, sir, Mr. Murphy.
So, if it doesn't go your way today on all the charges, I'm assuming you're intending to appeal.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, do you feel like how do you feel the way that the case was handled? Do you feel it was handled fairly, or how do you rate the performance of the prosecutor?
The prosecutor? Pff, man, a waste, man. Big man, this man can't even understand what 2 + 3 is. See, him probably think it's 4 or like 6 or something, I'm missing the numbers, big man. I'm not out there, Look at his feet. He got like a high top thing. You think his kid playing,
It's
but
like
it's like only half.
this is the best interview because this guy's got to somehow quote Wayne.
I'll never go to that barber.
It's gonna need to go to fucking Google Translate and do
So,
fucking Rastafari to English.
290 or 210 kilos?
No, it's not Rastafari. What's the word?
1,000 grams of marijuana in my warehouse.
It's been a while since I worked with a bunch of Jamaicans, so I know.
210 kilos of marijuana.
Patois?
You've got
Patois?
1/5 of a
Yeah,
metric
patois.
ton. Is that just your? That's just what you take. That's just for personal use, right? Sure.
Patois.
I'm from Jamaica.
I mean, it does.
That's my answer. I'm from Jamaica. See?
Gotcha.
11 kilos. Good boy. It does make it sound more badass.
Mr. Interviewer, how many grams is 1 kilo?
Yeah,
21 kilos, isn't it?
Am I the only one having like
Yeah, it's
issues hearing people?
You're talking about
Or is that everybody?
ton, man.
Yeah, it was 210 for the longest bloody time. But if it's 21, then fair enough.
Listen, we don't want no bad press.
I actually thought it was 210 kilos, which is why I was saying it's 1/5 of a metric ton. But if it's 21 kilos,
Yeah,
then
metric
fuck
ton.
all.
Chat, am I the only one having VoIP
No,
issues
this
here?
is why I asked the questions. There's no need to get hostile with me.
Right.
Right.
Way more badass.
Fake
Okay,
news
so
and shit.
Sorry to hear that too,
21
Murphy.
kilos of weed. Definitely not for public sale. Then I assume.
Everyone is. So it's like
Oh,
one of
no,
those like
by the time the police got
one
to
of
that
those things where
marijuana's
like people are
probably done
doing.
died up, probably just
People are
about
probably
to
hanging
just,
out at the gallery or something, so the VoIP in here is bad.
But see, we smoked that over one weekend.
So even if you wanted to sell it, you wouldn't be able to.
Correct. Also, big man, another thing we forgot to bring up in trial is also when you break down a female marijuana plant, you receive some goods, you know, some of the plant break down. You can actually make it a fertilizer. If you have a fertilizer bag, you just plant up that bag and put it inside the bag and get the fertilizer from the plant.
Also,
now we
with
use
that wind,
fertilizer for grow male seeds.
you can we can roll joints at the
Oh,
farmer's
Murphy, we
market.
should definitely brought that up. I forgot about that.
Like
I think we'll do fine without it.
We have 2 sets of papers at the farmer's market.
I honestly, given where I was sat, I think you are fine. My headline at this present moment is going to be because that's all I really heard from the prosecution. So I think you'll be fine.
You hear that?
Fuck up too, huh?
The people have spoken.
I wouldn't quite go that far, but I'd say that they could have.
I'm not sure, but it's probably Voladin.
For definite.
Let me see if he's. I don't even know if Schwinghammer streams. To be honest, he's not live
Well,
on
thank you for your time, Mr. Wayne.
on Discord.
I'll let you go.
Hey, no problem. What you say your name is again, killer?
It's Nigel. I work for Weasel News. I'm the chief
Yo,
correspondent.
Nigel, you don't know. Hey, big man, I want some beef. I got some Afghani blunts later. Hit me up. See, I got them backwoods. You know about them backwoods, big man? Sweet aromatic.
I don't smoke it, but
Russian
I'll
cream.
tell my friends.
Russian cream backward. Maybe some honey
You
backward.
can
No, I'm
put
fine.
it into
Thank you.
cake.
Okay, bless her, bless her.
Just to smoke it.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that
you for your
everything you
time.
need from us?
Yeah, that was useful. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, no problem. Anytime.
Okay, good shit, Murphy.
Yeah, I mean the people seem to think they saw what I saw out there, so I guess we'll see. I'm feeling pretty good.
This GOG staff, DOD staff, think, big man.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what they think.
Let's talk to them a little bit. Excuse me.
What do you guys think of the case?
Me. Yeah, how you guys think the trial went in your professional, personal opinion?
Yeah, well, I thought the prosecution sort of just relied on the evidence being self-explanatory, which I'm not sure that it was. I thought you folks did a pretty good job of kind of questioning, whether or not it was just like whether it should have been legally, treated as part of the business property given the your interpretation of the dispensary guidelines. But I mean, I'm just a news guy. I don't really know the laws of it and all, but. I thought they probably should have spent a lot more time trying to explain why it wasn't legal, as opposed to just sort of expecting everyone to just, accept that, their side of things. So I thought you did pretty well.
I see it every day. Even though dispensaries are licensed and legal and people can sell bud down at the pier, the police, they still treat every single one of them as though they're a criminal. So what's the point of it being legal,
That's terrible.
Yeah, man. Treat me like a criminal. All I want to do is sell seeds, Does Walmart not sell tomato seeds? That's legal, right? Well, marijuana seeds just as legal as a tomato seed, big man. I have all the licenses for them things.
No, it's not.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of
tomatoes are illegal?
If you're looking at a paraphernalia law, there's no
Maybe.
marijuana seed under that legislation. I actually got full permission from a few judges to sell marijuana seeds to civilians. And if them civilians got pulled over after leaving my business, they were perfectly legal to carry them seeds to the house. That needs to be more clarified in the DOJ system, to be honest.
Exactly.
Some police think that the seeds are paraphernalia when actually it's not. I actually got that legislation changed.
And
when I
here's the
first opened
thing.
my business.
Here's the thing. The fact that it needs to be clarified is not your fault, and it's not your problem.
Exactly, Mr. Murphy.
What did you think, Salim?
I honestly don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'm
you're
excited to hear the verdict.
I mean,
Me
you're
too.
you're studying to become an attorney, so what are your legal thoughts on on each side and how the judge interpreted the. Got any thoughts at all?
My legal thoughts is yes, the legislation do not have everything, but it should be obvious that dispensaries should only be selling to other dispensaries, especially when, like Mr. Wayne said, it's just seeds.
See, sir, I've got full permission from the government and the judges of the city to sell marijuana seeds to civilians. So you are mistaken on that one, big man.
Maybe I am, but do you have it written?
You have what, sorry?
Do you have that approval written?
Yes, I have my license, my dispensary license.
Does your dispensary license say that you're okay to sell to civilians?
To who does the dispensary sell
Oh,
to?
Gunner coming in with the brand new sub.
What is dispensary
Show some
sell
love,
to other
guys.
dispensaries?
Because you just said that you provide this.
I'm
And
sorry,
I don't
go on
think it
understand what you
says.
just said.
I
You said-
I want to
you
take a
said
cough
that.
drop, sell him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having trouble hearing people for a bit now, so I don't think it's any one person.
Yeah, man.
People must be
Nah,
hanging out at the gallery
You've been
or
okay.
something.
You've been okay. It wasn't your fault. You've been all right.
When there's a lot of people
Okay,
at the gallery, this happens in here. Nobody knows why.
Yeah, true. Like I said, Mr. Wayne, it looks like you provide for providers, and it seems there isn't any law regarding selling seeds, but it should be obvious that you should only sell it to other dispensaries.
Why
Well,
is that
I mean,
obvious?
that's not
Is it
that
legal
obvious.
for other civilians? Is it legal for civilians to grow marijuana in the city? There are no cultivation laws. As you're aware, a couple of months ago, they actually been removed, and it's perfectly legal to grow marijuana as a civilian. As many plants as you want.
And absent any other legislation, my client would clearly be subject to the dispensary guidelines, just like the other dispensaries. So, as far as those go, he can sell weed, he can sell seeds. He doesn't even have to sell to other dispensaries. He could sell joints to any person he wants to, his employees too, just like everybody
As well
else.
as
Just
seeds.
like that young lady over there who owns White Widow, she can legally do all the same things. Just because
She
my
could sell
client
seeds to,
specializes in creating strains and selling seeds doesn't mean that he's not allowed to sell weed. No one ever said that.
I see.
So I'm very interested to see the result here.
Me as well. Me as well.
I mean, but
And I
again,
wanna
he
see
is
some
under
marijuana
other
reform.
restrictions. He's under other restrictions where he has to sell it only in the markets.
Where does it say
it
that?
has been
Or
proven.
I can sell at my business as well. At the business or the markets.
For the market rules, it's only in the markets.
Per the legislation, you can sell at your
I'm
business.
gonna give
And the
my,
markets, you can sell at the
verdict here in a few
markets.
I'll
moments.
double check that.
Maybe wants to go
I haven't
let
spent too
anyone
much
who
time
may be in the
looking at it.
lobby know that we're going to begin soon. Perfect.
We're going to be beginning soon.
All right, showtime.
Here
we go.
Don't know, Sarah.
we go, baby. Innocent.
Hey, Murphy, seems like if these motherfuckers want to work in DOJ, them better read up on the legislations and laws.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the lobby's clear.
Okay, I'm going to call this court back into session at this time. All right. Thank you, everyone, for a great court case. Both sides, as well as the
Casino.
officers and the gallery.
That's what it
the
is.
respect was very much appreciated. Thank you very much. I will say that I did not take my deliberations lightly. There was a lot of evidence to go through and a lot of technicalities to review. I will say that out of this, I am going to bring forward some recommendations to the DOJ to look at perhaps clarifying some of the, working with, first of all, and then clarifying some of the dispensary language in the city. I think this has proven that it's well overdue. But that being said, Mr. Biggz can't be held accountable for things that happen before any clarification is being made. Now, I'm going to begin with some of the easy charges because I think that there are
that sounds
very
good.
easy to determine some rulings on the first charges here. So that is going to be the attempted murder of a government employee ×2, the criminal possession.
Even
of a
Cassie's
firearm
up to
×1,
99%.
misdemeanor possession of a controlled dangerous substance oxymeth ×2, and the possession of stolen property in the 3rd degree ×1. Now, through both officer testimony as well as the evidence that has been provided to me, as well as the defendant's own admission about him having an AK-47 when he shot Mr. Glory, I am going to find you, Mr. Biggz, guilty on those charges. Okay, the evidence was fairly straightforward, and the testimony did not seem to be the focus of this case. I think that can be everyone's agreement. Now we are on to drug trafficking, which is most of the crux of this case. Now, I'm going to read for you all the description of drug trafficking in the state of Los Santos. I swear I'm not pausing for dramatic effect. That's just how long the MDW takes. Any person who is found guilty of felony possession with intent to distribute and which meets one or more of the following requirements. 1, the suspect shows a pattern of drug distribution or felony possession of controlled dangerous substances demonstrated through 3 or more provable instances. 2, proof or evidence that the suspect has manufactured or cultivated a controlled dangerous substance. 3, the suspect has sold, transferred, or distributed a controlled dangerous substance to an individual who may be summoned or subpoenaed to appear in court. Now, there are 3 prongs of this that
Doesn't sound like they hit any of those.
that need to be proven in order to push this drug trafficking charge. Okay. Number 2, proof or evidence that the suspect has manufactured or cultivated a controlled dangerous substance. Well, I guess by the defendant's own admission, he did do that. However, at the time, he was licensed to do so. So that, I guess, it did happen. Number 3, the suspect has sold, transferred, or distributed a controlled dangerous substance to an individual.
Yeah, we getting that chain, boys.
Or subpoenaed to appear in court. While you could say that the ambush was perhaps him doing this by accomplice, there was no evidence or testimony that showed that the defendant, Mr. Biggz, directly sold, transferred, or distributed this substance to a person who could be summoned or subpoenaed in court. Finally, the first prong, pattern of drug distribution or felony possession of a controlled dangerous substance demonstrated through 3 or more provable instances. In review of Mr. Biggz' record, he only has 1 charge of felony possession with intent to distribute. It is this court's ruling that Mr. Biggz be found not guilty of drug trafficking due to these issues at this time.
Congratulations, Mr. Biggz.
There's no proof that he's a licensed distributor, Your Honor. There's no proof that he's
Congratulations.
a licensed
Your
distributor.
Honor, the people will be boycotting any DOJ focus on. Thank you.
Fuck the pity.
All right, Bass.
And they stay there.
They didn't even submit any evidence.
And they stayed up.
What the fuck? Just because he
They said
so?
I was a bad judge. Go fuck yourselves.
I mean,
Marijuana reform.
Hey, go learn how to do your fucking job.
The whole thing for drug trafficking was point 2.
Good comeback.
You just don't do your job correctly. That's why you lost before, you idiots.
I can't fucking believe that we pulled this off. How did we do that?
Just nah, not really.
They're probably shit at that too.
We're gonna sue. We're gonna sue them. We're gonna sue them. We're gonna make some money.
Already done that.
I can't. I really, literally can't believe we pulled that off. That is insane. Aren't you glad you didn't go for that plea deal? Aren't you glad you
Yes,
didn't go
Mr.
for
Murphy, you
it?
the
I talked you
fucking
out of it.
homie,
I
Murphy.
talked you out of it, didn't I?
Come here, come here,
Good
Murphy.
job, Wayne.
Come here.
Fucking holding down the fucking industry. Good job.
My fucking boy. My fucking boy, Murphy.
All right, I want that
Fucking love
chain
you,
now.
big man.
Gotta get that
I'm
chain.
making sure you get that
Kay
fucking
said I get a chain.
You getting that fucking chain.
Hell
You getting
yeah.
that fucking chain, Murphy. I got you.
He packaged it to sell on the streets.
Oh man, the big mad over
He
there.
packaged the weed that he grew for seeds in his warehouse.
The big mad.
Oh, the baby's upset. Aw.
Oh, they big man.
Oh
big
my
man.
god.
They're big,
Big
man.
man, I'd like to appreciate you. Hey,
Bimby
hey,
coming in with the
I
5 gifted. Thank you very much, brother.
I got you. See, I appreciate that. Appreciate your services, big man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to spend so much time in jail.
Me at the jailhouse a couple weeks ago and told me he's gonna win this case for me. Yo, that man's a good man still. I love that man.
Mr. Wayne.
Yes, sir.
These are yours.
Don't fucking put them on me.
Oh, fucking boy.
Piece of shit.
Oh, Gunner. Oh, the man who
That is
originally
uncalled
got
for.
arrested.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Gunner, guess what? Big man not guilty, killer. Not my business
you,
license
Wayne.
still, you know.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
Wayne.
boy.
You think you're done? You think you're done off the streets? Give it 2 more weeks. I'll fucking find you. I'll fucking find you, Wayne.
I'm a fucking kingpin, Gunner.
You know, I know you're the fucking kingpin. You wait till I
With
fucking
your
get
one
the fucking
eye, you
information
gonna
I
find
need
it?
to get
Yes,
fucking
Gunner.
done.
Maybe in 2 weeks, but not today, sir.
Not today,
Shut the fuck up, Braun.
I have freedom of speech. I will not.
Oh, Gloria. You're good, you still, Gloria.
You're a pussy.
I fuck with you, big man. I appreciate you. Perfect testimony,
Good job,
big
Mr.
man.
Wayne.
You're good, you, big man. You're good fucking you, you know.
Congratulations.
So, yo, where's my marijuana? You got that?
No, he's not in here.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Okay. No, man. My $215,000 fucking dollars that you were gonna find me for. I want that shit back in my bumper clap pockets.
Right.
Process Mr. Biggz for the charges that he was found guilty of.
Appreciate that, big man.
If any fines were not issued, I guess you could do that at this time.
Yo, Bimby, thanks again for the gifted subs today. Appreciate you. Get some love in the chat. Get some love in the chat for everybody showing support today and yesterday during the subathon. And some love for a good case. Job well done.
It took a little bit to get the respect going in the courtroom, but
I can't.
thank you for doing so, and I appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yo, I literally can't believe that I pulled that out of my ass.
All got better.
No, listen.
Good
When
shit.
the
Don't know what
fucking
you're talking about,
prosecutor
big man.
started talking, I'm
No
like,
clue what
nah,
you're talking
this,
about. But all I
this
do know is that
prosecutor
you
sucks.
police
All right,
seized
Mr.
a
Biggz.
large amount of my marijuana.
I mean, I felt his like
Sucker.
his heart
You
sink
get that back anyway.
when
don't know
I
how that
started
works.
asking Wayne
20,000
questions.
grams of marijuana back.
Bro,
Or
the fact that he kept bringing up that they're
$15,000,
packaged
you about to
marked
find me for
police
that
seizure, I'm like,
marijuana.
why
think it's
would
only
we write
fair.
that on the fucking...
All right,
Let me ask you
so
something, just like a
all
technical
the
question.
other charges are gonna
Would
be
you,
$10,000,
as a legal dispensary, would you package it
$425.
to save room or anything like that to transport things legally?
It definitely gets much heavier.
I mean, it's heavy, you know.
Box
We
it up.
gotta
Check
pack
back
it
in
up
our
so we
logs,
can
Glory,
fucking
see
move
if I
it
was
to different
fined or not.
places.
You were not processed.
So if you were stopped, and even if it said, marked for police seizure, because you have a license, if you were within the dispensary guidelines, you'd be fine, right?
If we,
we can technically haul 3 boxes as long as we like 3
okay, actually, Murphy, come over here. I'll tell you something.
All right, Mr. Wayne, I'm gonna bill you $10,425.